Welcome to the Jaguar Football Show with Coach Eric Dooley, where we bring you all the highlighted action of the Southern University football program. It's brought to you by Louisiana Lottery, Cherry Lane Chevrolet, Blue Cross Blue Shield of Louisiana, Manda Fine Meat, Louisiana Department of Health and Hospitals, Tobacco-Free Living Community of Color Network, Care South Medical and Dental, and the Cardiovascular Institute of the South. Hello and welcome to the Jaguar Football Show with Coach Eric Dooley. Each week we bring you all the exciting action of the Southern University football program. We come to you each week from Southern Kofi, located at 8418 Scotland Avenue in the heart of Scotlandville, and offer you fresh sandwiches, a nice salad option, as well as some great healthy smoothies. Of course, we come on about 6 times a week on TV. You see the times there on the graphic, or you can catch us at your convenience at our YouTube or Facebook link. Coach Dooley, we're coming off of our first open week of the 2023 season. Last week, one of the things you said before we ended the show is that you guys are going to put some work in on the Southern Jaguars. Did you get a chance to put that work in that you wanted to on all aspects of the game?
Absolutely. Not that we have not been working, just had opportunity to slow it down some, to work on some things that we've been doing well and some things that we haven't been doing so well. So I thought that was a good part, just the discipline side of the whole Southern University football team. Coach,
one of the aspects that I think you guys need to focus on is the running game. We got some really good running backs. Quarles, Dillon, Rhymes, these guys, you give them an opportunity in a couple of inches and they could take it to the house. So what did you guys do to get them some holes, to get them out in the flat so they can show their speed and shiftiness?
Well, I think the running game is just basically just an attitude, and it got to start from the guys that's up front. So we did some things to create some movement for those guys, kind of reshuffled the offensive line, put some guys in some different spots, got some guys back. So I look for a better running game, but it all comes with attitude to me.
There you go. There you have it from the coach. Coach, as we do during our open week, we show some highlights from the first couple of games before the open week, and if we can, we'll roll those to show you some of the first 3 games highlights. And this is, of course, is from the Alabama State game.
Absolutely.
You saw Blood throwing a nice out pass there.
Was able to connect with some receivers. Had an opportunity to connect with Kendrick Rhymes, a running back, released him out of the backfield. So it shows some good promise right there. Had opportunity to hit a tight end right up Fuller.
That is one thing, Coach, that's been kind of missing, the tight end from our offense this year.
Well, we got 2 good ones that we feel, but we got so many explosive receivers, so it's kind of hard. You got to just pick and choose where you want to try to use them at. We kind of use them in the run game as well as the pass game, but we got a lot of bullets I think that we can use, and now we just got to be able to unfold to this next phase of this season.
Would you say sharing the football is a challenge, huh?
It is, but it's only one football, but guys understand you just got to sit at the table.
Great catch right there.
Right here, you got August Pete here on one of the touchdowns from the wideouts. That's one of those guys that we feel that now he's back healthy, so he's ready to go as well.
What is Pete, about 6'2"?
6'2", 6'2.5", but
play
very
some
rangy.
Jump ball with him.
Yes, very rangy guy right here. Got a chance right here to steal, to hit one of our backs. We got a lot of guys. We got receivers. We got guys that we can hit. Now we just got to be able to get that front 5 going and click on all cylinders, I think.
Great tackle right there, Coach. Another good catch. This is a good run, taking it to the house.
Kendrick Rhymes, the guy is very, very explosive. He can do it from out of the backfield. He can do it running routes. So I kind of utilize him in all 2 phases.
And he is one guy who has found the end zone every game we had, huh, Coach?
Absolutely. He's been doing a great job here. Here you got Qualls getting a chance to catch it out of the backfield as well. He had an extremely good game, that game there.
Yeah, Qualls really did have a great game, that 3rd game against Alabama A&M. Looking forward to seeing him. That was his old team, too. So he was playing against his old mates.
Absolutely, absolutely. A lot of teammates right there.
Here's a good run right here.
Rhymes, I thought he probably got in, but of course the referee didn't see fit to give him a touchdown, which would have been huge for us.
Right.
Here go Qualls again, rushing it in for another rushing touchdown.
Well, there you have it, our offensive highlights from our first 3 games. When we come back, we're going to have the big hits from the defense from the first 3 games of the season on the Jaguar Football Show with Coach Eric Dooley. Stay with us.
I'll take a New Orleans Saints scratch up. Play New Orleans Saints from the lottery. Just scratch, fold, and punch your way to winnings. Punch your ticket with New Orleans Saints. Win up to $100,000. Enter our second chance drawings, giving you a season to smile.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. Hey, cool truck!
You like my new truck from Jerry Lane? I'm on the way to get my first free oil change.
Free oil change! Wow!
You can count on Jerry Lane.
Medicaid members, keep your address and phone number up to date to make sure you receive important information about your health insurance and you don't risk losing your coverage. If you get a letter from Louisiana Medicaid, follow the directions and respond to it as soon as possible. For questions or to update your info, call the number on your insurance card or visit HEALTHY.LA.GOV. That's HEALTHY.LA.GOV. Remember, keep your contact information up to date and respond to Medicaid letters so you don't lose your health care coverage.
Life in Louisiana is like a run-on sentence. A poem that doesn't rhyme. Life is here, now. For life's moments, big and small, always there. The right card, the right care.
Welcome back to the Jaguar Football Show with Coach Eric Dooley. Coach, one of the aspects of the team this year that has really been working hard, playing well for you is the defense. From penetration to turnovers to sacks, I think the defense is averaging about 3 sacks a game. Talk about your defense this year, Coach.
They're playing well right now. They're number 1 in the scoring defense and number 1 in total defense, so you can't ask for more right there, and they start now to create the turnovers. But we got a lot of guys that are playing exceptionally well. Still some pieces that we're missing that have to give. We got to have 11 hands to the ball to be that swarming defense, but I think they're working and doing a great job thus far.
Another bright spot on the team this year has been your kicking game. As a matter of fact, Joshua Griffin is coming off a SWAC Player of the Week performance, and then Ruben's Beauplain has been booming 45-plus yard punts. That ought to get him a look at the NFL, huh, Coach?
Absolutely. That young man can actually punt the football. I mean, I think his range can be a lot further than that, but then you got to look at the hang time that he's putting the ball up in the air, so he does a great job with that. But then when you talk about a Josh Griffin, who I think has the leg to kick the ball beyond 50 yards, just got to be in position to do it, but it has a strong leg, and then when he's kicking the ball off, he's kicking it through the end zone. So those are 2 good weapons to have right there that I feel real good. Hopefully we don't have to use Robin Beauplain as much because we don't want to be punting the football.
There you go. You want to score. Coach, one of the things we said we were going to do is show some of the defensive highlights. We're going to roll those out from the first 3 games of the 2023 season. Here we are against Alabama State, and there you see a good stop right there by your defense, not letting that guy hit that corner.
Jordan Carter coming up, he's a force back there in that secondary that's playing some great football. Along with Jalen Campbell, he's probably in on most of the tackles. When you talk about a Jalen Campbell and a Derek Williams, those guys are playing some heads-up football. Our 2 linebackers that are returning.
They call their names a lot during the games.
Absolutely. Then you got Taj Brown and Kelvin Givens. Those guys are force on that D-line. Both of them playing the defensive end for us, so they're doing a great job.
Great hit right there, Coach. Yeah, both Taj and Kelby have been playing lights out, Coach. They're like they're on a mission, Coach.
Absolutely. There's Taj Brown there again getting in. Kelvin Gibbons on the other end. So those guys now, so those guys are doing a great job off the edge. Now we're getting a little push up the middle. I think Dalvin Cotton has been playing well. He's starting to come into his own right now. So looking for him and a name that we probably won't mention as much, but a guy that's been playing, been an overachiever, William Miles. He's been playing well for us.
There you have it. Coach, you know, one of the things that I always noticed when I played, you hear other guys' name called, you want your name called too.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So it's good to see some of these other guys get their game up and get them some notification from the stadium announcer and in the highlights.
Absolutely. Those guys, I tell you, that Taj Brown, for him to move from playing inside to outside, he's still playing lights out football, and you got to really welcome that. He's a great football player for us.
Great gang tackle right there by your defense. 3 or 4 guys getting in on the sack.
Right here, this was good by a wide receiver. You're talking about George Qualls, one of our top receivers, going in to block the punt. They did a great job for us.
It's all important. Every aspect of the game.
Absolutely. Got a swarming defense right here. Just got to continue to play that type of football and get more turnovers and become the defense that we know we are.
This is a great open field tackle right there, Coach. You don't let the guy get out.
Absolutely. We got some guys on the defense that are playing well. We're expecting a couple of more bodies to come back this coming game right here. We know it's going to be a huge challenge. Pine Bluff is going to run the football, so we got to be able to stop the run, but then they got a quarterback that can scramble and get out and make the throws downfield, keep his eyes downfield. So we got a challenge, got to be able to keep him in the pocket, and then we got to be able to stop the run as well.
Coach, you know, an interception is one thing, but a sack is kind of demoralizing to an offense, isn't it? Just the guy gets in there and just kind of blows up the play all by himself or with a teammate.
Absolutely, it does, because now it puts you behind the chain, and it also messes up the offensive line because they have to give up something right there. So those are things that we pride ourselves on, getting pressure to the quarterback and then be able to pick it off. You saw Horatio Johnson get his first interception. I thought it was great for that young man.
All right, we come back. We're going to have our Jerry Lane Chevrolet Players of the Off Week on the Jaguar Football Show with Coach Eric Dooley. Stay with us.
You can't smell it, but you can almost taste it. And whether it's for a family get-together or a game day feast, having Manda in the mix always sounds good. For 3 generations, their quality meats and original seasonings have made Manda a Louisiana legend and made their family sausage Louisiana's family sausage. Manda Fine Meats, the flavor says it all.
Depression, anxiety, trauma, nicotine dependence, and more. Many families are struggling with behavioral health issues. Reaching out for professional help is the best thing you can do for you and your family. At Care South, we are committed to helping individuals and families to heal, bounce back, and grow stronger. Our team of professionals are available for telehealth and in-person visits. Call for an appointment today at 225-650-2000. Hope and healing is just a phone call away.
Diseases from smoking kill more African Americans each year than car crashes, AIDS, and murders combined. In the U.S., about 1 in 5 African American adults smoke cigarettes. It's estimated that each cigarette you smoke shortens your life by 7 minutes. That's 7 minutes less to spend time with people you love doing what you love. Each time you smoke a cigarette, is it worth it? Smoking affects us all.
Your heart and vascular system is at the core of your overall health. Trust your care to Cardiovascular Institute of the South, a world leader in the diagnosis and treatment of heart disease, artery and vein disease in the legs, and heart valve disease. CIS cardiologists offer the most advanced, innovative, and compassionate care for the complete health of your heart and legs. Schedule an appointment at one of our 3 locations in the Capital Region at cardio.com.
Welcome back to the Jaguar Football Show with Coach Eric Dooley. Each week in this segment, we have our Jerry Lane Chevrolet Players of the Week. Coach, who were the Jerry Lane Chevrolet Players of the Week on offense, defense, and special teams?
Tell you what, I'm gonna take a different twist this time right here because of what we had to do. I give the Offensive Player of the Week to the whole offense because of what they came out and did. They respect the off week, but they came in and attacked it as if we had a game.
Nice.
And then when you talk about defense, it's the same thing. They attack it on defense too. So I give it to the defense, and then I give it to the special team. So really, Southern University, offensively, defensively, and special team wise, I think we got better. We won today, and we knew what was important at that particular time.
Sounds like a good setup for our game against UAPB. Coach, next up, one of the things that happens during open week is recruiting. You and your staff get out and look at some potential new Jaguars. Of course, I know you guys got out to see some play. Did you see some players who could contribute to the Jaguars next year?
Absolutely. We saw a bunch of guys within this local areas, within the Mississippi area, and even within North Louisiana. We had a chance to spread out and try to make sure that we recruit within our backyard. But we saw some guys that can be an immediate impact to our football program.
When you talk about immediate impact, did you see some exceptional guys, Coach, that wanted to be Jaguars? I know sometimes you recruit a kid and this kid's got his eyes wide open and he's looking at this school, this school, this school. But then sometimes you come into a situation and a kid's, maybe his parents went to Southern or he's always followed the Jaguars. Did you see some exceptional kids that wanted to be Jaguars?
We saw some game changers. Now I think it's up to me and the assistant coaches to let them guys know why we want them to be Jaguars. And I think those guys are showing a high level of interest in us, regardless of what the situation are and who they're being recruited by. Because I think it still comes down to relationships. When you have relationships with individuals, you have opportunity to get inside. You know a lot of folks. So we got a seasoned coaching staff that's been around, been recruiting. So we got some guys that some folks don't think we should get, but that we will land that I think going to be game changers for us.
Coach, it used to be, you'd get probably 80% of your new players from the high school ranks, maybe 20% of your players from the transfer route in the previous days. But now with the advent of the transfer portal, what is the percentage these days? Is it almost flipped where you're getting about 60% of your players from the portal and about 30% of your kids from high school? What is that percentage these days, and how does it work? How do you approach it?
Right now, going within my third recruiting class, I got an approach that I think going to benefit us at Southern University. I'm going to take 40% probably from the transfer portal. I'm going to take 30 from the junior college ranks and another 30 from the high school. Now I have a mixture to where I can build a football team and have some guys that we're not losing guys every year, that we're building, and those guys are growing and getting better.
That is the other question, Coach, about the makeup and building of a football team. Again, we talked about what it used to be. You just talked about what it is now. So basically, as we move forward in the game of college football, almost every year you're going to have a 60% plus new team.
It's a strong possibility. I think it's the way you just go out. You just got to continue to build your football team and know what you're bringing in. That's why it's still important to go get those high school students. But then you got to be very careful getting those high school students now, because you develop those guys and they become superstars, and who knows what's going to happen to them when you talk about the transfer portal. I understand this game also well, but I still feel what God has for me, it is for me. We're going to get those guys that want to be Jaguars, that understand what it takes to be a Jaguar.
So, Coach, basically what we're talking about is the age of free agency in college football. It's basically these kids have an opportunity, if they don't like a place or they think they could get more time somewhere else, they become free agents and hit the portal.
Absolutely. I said it here because I've been around for a long time. I think now the free agency just has become legal. It's been free agency, now it's legal, to where you can go out and get those guys if they decide to make a decision to go elsewhere. But we understand the guys that we're getting. We're recruiting guys that understand what it takes to be a Jaguar. So we're going to continue to do that. And at the end of the day, you still got to keep the guys that you already developed.
Coach, got to ask you one more question. The downside of the transfer portal is a guy like Todd Sterling comes in, you know, he makes some hay. Maybe he's, you know, had a good year, and then he thinks he can go to a bigger school or go somewhere else and make a bigger splash, and then he doesn't get picked up. And so you got a kid who had a scholarship, walked away from it thinking he was going to go somewhere else and be cool, hip, and sexy, and now he's a kid without a scholarship and out of school. How many kids are ending up in that type situation?
I think more than being that are being publicized. It's a lot of kids, because you look at that transfer portal. I've seen some guys' names been in that transfer portal for 2 years now, and that has not gone anywhere. And that's the sad part about it. You know, you try to understand to get those guys to understand what it's all about. It doesn't matter if you can play; they're gonna find you. So if you're at a place that you feel comfortable and they know who you are and what your capabilities are, I think you need to stay and fight it out and understand what it's all about. Because when you take a look at Southern University, you're talking about an FCS program, not a huge program, but we got 3 Hall of Famers who can really say that. And I think that speaks volumes. And not only that, it's not that you're going to those larger schools where you just may be just enjoying one day, just Saturday. When you come to a school such as Southern University, you're going to enjoy every day of the week.
Well, there you have it. You heard it from the coach. When we come back, we'll look ahead to our game this weekend against the UAPB Golden Lions on the Jaguar Football Show with Coach Eric Dooley.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. Hey, cool truck!
You like my new truck from Jerry Lane? I'm on the way to get my first free oil change.
Free oil change! Wow!
You can count on Jerry Lane.
Life in Louisiana is like a run-on sentence. A poem that doesn't rhyme. Life is here, now. For life's moments, big and small, always there. The right card, the right care.
Are you feeling lucky? Play Good Luck from the lottery. Win up to $4,000. 2 ways to play, 2 ways to win. Sing double, play double time. Win up to $15,000. It's everyone's favorite word game. Change your luck and play Lucky 7 crossword. Top prize is $77,777. The Louisiana Lottery, giving you a reason to smile.
Medicaid members, keep your address and phone number up to date to make sure you receive important information about your health insurance and you don't risk losing your coverage. If you get a letter from Louisiana Medicaid, follow the directions and respond to it as soon as possible. For questions or to update your info, call the number on your insurance card or visit HEALTHY.LA.GOV. That's HEALTHY.LA.GOV. Remember, keep your contact information up to date and respond to Medicaid letters so you don't lose your health care coverage.
Welcome back to the Jaguar Football Show with Coach Eric Dooley. Of course, now we turn our attention to our next game, the University of Arkansas Pine Bluff Golden Lions. The Golden Lions right now are coming off of a 31-24 loss to Alabama A&M, and they also stand at 1-3 on the season. Coach, the Lions have a pretty good quarterback. Jalen McCon or Jalen Macon, however he says it, he threw for about 227, 2 TDs, and an INT versus the Bulldogs last weekend. What do the Bulldogs want? Do they usually like to run the ball? What are they doing up there this year?
Well, you know, they do pride themselves on being a physical football team that like to run the football. And when you take a look at them, their big running back was out of the game. He did not play against Alabama A&M, but I'm sure he'll be ready to go this game right here. But they want to run the football, but they do have a quarterback that showed a lot of promise this last game here. He was able to get outside the pocket and keep his eyes down the field and hit some targets on some scrambling drills. So we know we got to be able to keep him in the pocket. We got to have great lane integrity so that he doesn't get outside the pocket. And then we got to be able to stop the run. There's no question about that. They're going to be physical and want to come downhill. Defensively, they're flying around. They're playing mistake-free football and not real aggressive when you talk about running blitzes and things of that nature, just playing sound.
Well, there you have it from the coach. Jaguar Nation, we need you to get up there and support the Jaguars. When we come back, we're going to wrap up this week's show on the Jaguar Football Show with Coach Eric Dooley. Stay with us.
Diseases from smoking kill more African Americans each year than car crashes, AIDS, and murders combined. In the U.S., about 1 in 5 African American adults smoke cigarettes. It's estimated that each cigarette you smoke shortens your life by 7 minutes. That's 7 minutes less to spend time with people you love doing what you love each time you smoke a cigarette. Is it worth it? Smoking affects us all.
Your heart and vascular system is at the core of your overall health. Trust your care to Cardiovascular Institute of the South, a world leader in the diagnosis and treatment of heart disease, artery and vein disease in the legs, and heart valve disease. CIS cardiologists offer the most advanced, innovative, and compassionate care for the complete health of your heart and legs. Schedule an appointment at one of our 3 locations in the Capital Region at cardio.com.
Depression, anxiety, trauma, nicotine dependence, and more. Many families are struggling with behavioral health issues. Reaching out for professional help is the best thing you can do for you and your family. At Care South, we are committed to helping individuals and families to heal, bounce back, and grow stronger. Our team of professionals are available for telehealth and in-person visits. Call for an appointment today at 225-650-2000. Hope and healing is just a phone call away.
You can't smell it, but you can almost taste it. And whether it's for a family get-together or a game day feast, having Manda in the mix always sounds good. For 3 generations, their quality meats and original seasonings have made Manda a Louisiana legend and made their family sausage Louisiana's family sausage. Manda Fine Meats. The flavor says it all.
Welcome back to the Jaguar Football Show with Coach Eric Dooley. Of course, as we wrap up this week's show, Jaguar Nation, we need you to get up there to Pine Bluff. They got a nice stadium and usually treat us with some nice hospitality. 4 p.m. start. All right, go Jags.